And it appears a majority of Americans support the charges against the former president. An ABC News Ipsos poll shows 56% of respondents think former President Trump should be impeached and barred from running for federal office. White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks joins me now with more. Mary Alice, this poll shows a majority of Americans agree with this charge. So how important is that to the senators hearing these arguments?
I think it's incredibly important to Democrats. It's a big part of the reason, Diane, that we've seen Democrats move forward, even though Joe Biden in the White House is eager to get his agenda going. They know on Capitol Hill that they have public support behind them, and Democrats haven't had any fracturing in their ranks. They want to see this trial in full display for the American public, and they feel like the public is with them. But you saw those numbers. It's just slightly more than the majority of Americans agree that former President Trump should be convicted and barred from future office. It's not an overwhelming number of Americans, and so I think that right there, it's sort of that close margin is exactly where we see Republicans are really grappling with this question. If it was 10 points higher, maybe we would see even more Republicans coming on board.
And the timing of this trial has kind of been all over the place. What do we know at this point?
Yeah, we know, as you heard from Rachel, that we're going to have a question today about the constitutionality of the trial itself. Does it make sense to try a former president who is no longer in office? That will be the question at hand today. They will vote on that question today. And then we will begin more traditional trial. The question of opening arguments, the question of witnesses. And we're going to see Democrats over the next 2 days lay out their case. They're going to look at video of that day. They're going to look at the president's statements that day and past statements. They have 16 hours that they are capped at using only 8 hours at a time. Senators don't want to sit for more than 8 hours at a time, but they have 16 hours to make their case. And then the other side, President Trump's team has 8 hours to rebut. We're expecting that all of those statements, all of sort of that laying out of the case will take us up until this weekend. And then the beginning of next week, senators have the chance to ask questions, and we will most likely see final votes early next week.
All right. And Mary Alice, 17 Republicans need to vote against Trump to secure a conviction here. Now, even President Biden says that's unlikely. So has this already been decided before it even starts?
I think it is unlikely. Really, no one's questioning that on Capitol Hill at this point. But there's been a number of Republicans who have said they are waiting to hear the arguments. Remember, Mitch McConnell early on signaled through his team that he believed President Trump had committed impeachable offenses. So if he starts signaling that he is going to vote to convict, that still could bring a number of other Republicans on board. And look, we don't know all the evidence that Democrats are going to lay out. Right now, I think that this is Trump's to lose. The numbers are in his favor. But if Democrats have new, incredibly shocking evidence about something he said or didn't say in those final few days, it could still sway people. We don't know.
And Mary Alice, there was talk of censuring the president instead early on in this whole process. If they don't secure a conviction here, could Congress pursue anything else against the former president, or would this be the end of the road?
Yeah, I don't think that Democrats are going to want to bring that up unless they know for sure that there's enough Republicans on board for it to pass. They don't want to lose a vote twice. But I think that we've seen a number of Republicans signal that they are looking for another mechanism of accountability. This was floated in the House. It didn't go anywhere. House Democrats were determined to pass the impeachment article. But in the Senate, we've seen Republicans still float this possibility. Susan Collins of Maine in particular has really been out there on this. So if she's able to bring enough colleagues on board, they would need 60 votes to pass something like that, not the 2/3 threshold. If they could pass that, if she could bring enough colleagues on board, the Democratic sources I have been talking to say that they would really consider that as an option.
All right. White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks. Thanks, Mary Alice.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.